Watch out! Over there! There's one of them vermin! Easy does it, boys. We're gonna do this first. That's crush the leak! We have to stop it! We have to stop it! See them fancy clothes? This one's a roll back to back! Filthy piece of shit!
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Look who's back after Booth's butchery. Still visiting the docks at night, Dr. Reed.
Are you referring to Mr. Digby? He seemed a decent man, despite his profession.
Yes, he was a decent man. Too soft, maybe. They are all gonna pay for this.
Are you really going to seek revenge for Mr. Digby's death?
I've never been so sure of anything. Since the real murderer will never be found, I'm gonna punish everyone.
The people here shouldn't have to pay for this. They have already suffered enough because of you and your gang.
I kind of like how you dare to say what you think, Dr. Reed. But don't speak to me like that again.
Tell me, Edwina, have you reconsidered Booth's fear of monsters, considering his mysterious death?
He should have learnt to shoot first, rather than chasing ghosts around. What a clumsy leader he was. But I'll miss him, nevertheless.
I'll leave. I have this thirst for blood. Good evening.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything recently about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I don't give a rat's arse about Sean Hampton, his shelter, or any of the losers who sleep there.
Aren't you worried about the conditions here in London?
I've heard armed men have started patrolling the city, even killing the sick to stop the epidemic. Starting to like this city again.
Goodbye. Evening, Ruth.
Evening, Miss...
Heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter lately?
I heard that Mr. Hampton has been very sick, but now he's better.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation?
I never really felt safe in this town anyway. Now's the first time that everyone seems to feel the same way as me.
Is anything worrying you right now?
Gunshots. I hear them every night. Who's firing? Who are they shooting at? That's what's scary.
So long. Good evening, Miss...
Of course. I'm not sure the epidemic is what worries people most these days.
It's locked, all right.
What can I do?
Mrs. Fishburne,
I am a...
then let me give you a prescription.
I thank you for your generosity, sir. It's something this part of town truly needs.
Do you have any news about Sean Hampton's shelter?
I just heard the sad saint keeps on helping the sick and poor. God bless his soul.
Aren't you worried about the conditions around here?
Hate everywhere. The city will not sink because of this flu. It's the violence that will finish us all. Should I have turned my Seymour in? Was my crime to love my son?
Don't you think Miss Fishburne is nice to us? But I always have the feeling she's hiding something. For now, you're still the only real friend I have, Jack.
To every...
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr.
How come you consider it your only friend?
I found Jack when he was a baby, alone amongst dead rats. Poison, probably. He was the weakest, but he survived. just like me with my parents.
Like you and your parents?
When I was 8, my parents died in a car accident. Rumour says I didn't get a scratch.
You don't remember the accident?
No. I was little back then. It's been a blurry mess and very quiet in my head ever since.
How have you survived? Did anybody take care of you?
I don't have any family left, really. Except for the good Mrs. Fishburne. She's like my family now.
Rufus, tell me what you really think about Seymour Fishburne.
Seymour, he just scares me. A lot. Actually, he scares many people round here, even big fellows.
You mean his brutality is infamous? Even in this shady part of town. That's impressive.
Yes, sir. How someone like that can be related to Mrs. Fishburne, well, it beggars belief.
Maybe she loves her son so much, she is blind to his misdeeds.
If so, she wouldn't hide her sadness, would she?
What do you mean?
It passes across her eyes sometimes, when she thinks she's alone. She hides it from everyone. So what they said about me was true. I really was Rufus the Curse, destined to suffer until I die.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Seymour, Why are you scaring young Rufus?
I don't like his act to gain my mother's trust. I don't like it at all. Little bugger is like a fly around shit.
Young Rufus seems quite harmless to me. Your support could change his life for the better.
I don't believe in kindness nor innocence, sir. The boy is either a fool or a hypocrite who hides his hand well. You tricked me good, Doctor. Tell me, who will take the blame for your murders now that... I'm dead.
I should just run as far
Welcome.
away from this place as I can.
Goodbye.
So few clients. But with the epidemic, no one dares go outside.
still-
Goodbye, Miss...
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Perhaps I should shut the...
I cannot enter.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one. This situation won't last forever. We'll have plenty of time to plan the future.
Good thing we haven't seen Seymour for a while. Even dark.
Talk to us!
Watch out, boys! Back to the bloody crime!
Good evening, young...
There's no need to call me that, Doctor.
Young man,
I don't like...
there's no shame in asking for help, especially when you are in desperate need of it. Here, take this. You should recover in no time.
Thank you, I suppose.
Good.
I know I've got something that'll strike your fancy.
Good.
Are you
If not...
Do you need
death?
Well, I have nothing to stop the bullets, but this should make you feel better.
You have a strange sense of humor, Dr. Reed. But thanks anyway.
Goodbye.
Is there any...
Good evening.
Of course.
Sir!
Goodbye. It's locked.
Sir!
Jack, my son, he got killed. I remember all my life. Oh, the joy. The love. What a life. Thank you.
Good evening, young...
There's no need...
It's time to confess, Martin. You've exploited Miss Gillingham's weakness to your own advantage, have you not?
All I've done is smile at her and be kind to her. I've done no other harm than giving her what she needed. This is no crime.
I suppose we all justify our actions to ourselves in some way. So come, tell me what your excuse is.
Can blame my folks for that. They taught me never to expect nothing from anyone except lies.
So it's bad parenting then? How convenient. Where are your parents?
6 feet under, I suppose. When the flu had weakened my father enough for him to be too weak to punch me, I figured it was time to run away.
Is that why you let them die of the flu? Because your father was beating you?
When the epidemic started, last summer, I begged them to leave town. Neighbors were dying, houses were looted, but they chose to stay.
Do you have any regrets about what happened?
I haven't got regrets, but sometimes I'd like to make sure they're gone. Dead for good. Like, it helps me sleep. I was just pretending. I caused no harm. I could have taken good care of that old lady.
Good evening.
Are you...
Forgive me, Jack. If I had stood by your side, we both could have changed things for good round here.
Glad to see you again, Miss...
Do you need...
I can keep...
Of course you can, Miss Paxton. But I wouldn't recommend it. Please, take this. You will feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. Thank you. Really?
Do you have recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter? Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
There are rumours of infected people turned mad by the fever and roaming the streets, attacking everyone they see. Is it true?
As long as you stay away from the streets, you should be all right.
I hope you're right, Dr. Reed. We feel kind of left alone around here.
Goodbye.
Welcome back to my humble shelter, Dr. Reed. Are you here to subdue me again?
No, Sean. I just came by to see how you are.
I feel all right. Why'd you ask?
Are you still feeding on corpses?
No. It's almost as though the blood you forced me to drink has provided me eternal satisfaction.
How is the sanitary situation in this part of town?
There's a lot of sadness and pain in my flock. I believe we're not fully through the crisis. You should do something about it if you can, Doctor.
How are things in your shelter? Between the mortals and the immortals, I mean.
Even if we're all children of God, I've always maintained a strict frontier between the two communities.
What do you fear?
A few years ago, a Skal decided to pay a nocturnal visit to my sleeping customers. He got caught licking their necks in the dark. Since then, I have added a lock to the door.
What if food became scarce? Wouldn't the immortals in your flock be tempted to feed on the living? Wouldn't you?
The Skals can feed on the dead, Doctor. And until Judgment Day, mortals will continue dying.
How did you meet old Bridget?
When younger, I used to patrol the streets at night, searching for lost souls. This is how I met her. It took me 2 months just to get her name. Now we support each other.
Had you already visited their hideout in the sewers?
Just once, and very briefly. Most of them are very discreet, and they see me as an outsider, even if I protect them.
You really are a saint, Sean.
Oh, no, sir, I'm not. But I know evil, and I believe goodwill and tenacity can make this world a better place.
Have you seen Harriet Jones since taking her to old Bridget?
No. She is with the sewer Skals now. I don't go downstairs.
What happened at the Pembroke?
I guess we recognized each other. As Skals, I mean. She had but one thought. To punish. To get revenge upon everything and everyone. I realized I had to bring her here quickly.
But why did she fake her own death? There was so much blood in her room. She attacked patients, too.
I just lost her for a minute that night. When I found her, she had caused mayhem across the hospital. I slapped some sense into her, and we fled before getting caught.
What happened then?
We ran here through narrow streets and backyards. She kept saying that someone was talking to her in the dark, offering to avenge her. But I saw nobody.
Would you let me listen to your chest, Sean?
No, Dr. Reed. You already forced me to drink your blood, and I thank you for that, for I feel better now. but it was quite an unpleasant experience.
It would help me greatly if you would allow me to give you a physical examination.
I said no. I'm no subject of medical examination, and I intend only to obey and to kneel before God.
Farewell, Sean. Take good care of your flock, and of yourself.
Make everything right, Mum. But it's not been that simple.
You again? What do you want?
Do you need medical help, Miss Paxton?
I may.
I don't charge patients. My scam is much more subtle than that, Miss Paxton.
All right, then. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. But don't think I take you for an ally of the working class.
Do you have recent news of Sean Hampton's shelter?
The place is all right, I suppose. The sad saint is still the same. Except for that awful skin disease he recently got.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation in London?
Chaos is rising, Dr. Reed. This city is about to crumble.
You almost sound happy.
This world needs to die, Dr. Reed. And from the ashes, a new one will emerge, with more equity and freedom.
Well,
What have we here? Lost your horse, Governor? Or are you just out your mind?
Come now, Lottie. There is still much work to do.
it's locked.
Glad to see you again.
Lottie, tell me about the Wet Boot Boys. I know they've threatened you.
Edwina Cox wanted me to provide her with information about Mr. Hampton's resources. I refused.
Is that not dangerous?
Fuck them and their lies. They claim they protect the interests of the neighborhood, but they are just greedy parasites like all the rest.
I understand your fight, but the gangs are no joke. Are you sure you're safe?
I can defend myself. My only concern is about Giselle. I'm not sure my sister is able to fight anymore.
Good. Well, I'll leave.
This Seymour worries me. Perhaps Sean knows something about him.
What have we here? Lost your horse, Governor? Or you just out of your mind?
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked.